Excellencies, distinguished participants, dear friends, greetings to all of you gathered at this important meeting of regional organizations on the theme of preventing and addressing violence against children. I am especially pleased that you are gathered in Addis Ababa, hosting the headquarters of the African Union, as I know that this issue has been and continues to be a priority for the African Union. I would firstly like to acknowledge the crucial work done by my dear friend and colleague, Marta Santos Pais, whose tireless efforts as Special Representative of the Secretary General on Violence Against Children need no introduction to the participants at this meeting. I would equally like to acknowledge the enormous contribution of Dr. Asefa Bikele and the team at the African Child Policy Forum who are co-hosting the meeting. As a former AU Commissioner for Social Affairs, I know that regional cooperation is critically important to advancing the protection of human rights and to promoting sustainable development. Regional cooperation can immeasurably enhance efforts to bring about positive change, and it can provide a strong platform for mutual learning and cross-border collaboration. And there are many challenges within regions that individual member states simply cannot overcome alone. By consistently seeking solutions together, countries within regions can strengthen collective action in the face of these common challenges, thereby realizing the great benefits that flow from multilateral cooperation. We have a duty to promote multilateralism, and therefore regional organizations are indispensable partners to the UN in its work. Not only do regional organizations act as champions for international human rights standards and global frameworks, such as the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, they build upon them to develop important regional standards and policy frameworks that are more closely attuned to regional realities. This annual roundtable provides a unique platform to share valuable information and experience and support dialogue between organizations and thereby illustrate the influence and impact of the work of regional organizations and to mobilize further action to enhance children's protection from neglect, abuse, and exploitation. I know that in previous years, this roundtable has tackled a wide range of issues, from sexual abuse and exploitation to harmful practices. The thematic focus of the Roundtable on Children on the Move this year resonates strongly with the AU's decision to declare 2019 as the year of refugees, returnees, and internally displaced persons in Africa. Indeed, Africa has a great deal it can share with other regions on these matters. And as the UN Secretary General noted, there is greater African solidarity in meeting the needs of refugees on the continent. Dear friends, we need much more action to make violence against children a thing of the past. But in pursuing this work, we have reason to be hopeful, as there is a solid foundation to build on. We have strong standards to guide us, both in the form of the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, the African Charter on the Rights and Welfare of the Child, and other regional human rights instruments. There have also been strong political commitments to bringing violence against children to an end. This is evidenced at the global level by the inclusion of ending violence against children as a cross-cutting concern in the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, as well as a distinct SDG target. We have also seen important regional commitments being made, a recent example of which was the adoption at the AU Summit earlier this month of a decision on galvanizing political commitment towards the elimination of female genital mutilation in Africa. Our challenge is to translate these standards and commitments into tangible change for our children. And as champions for children's protection from violence, you are at the forefront of these efforts. 2019 will present important opportunities to accelerate action in this field. It marks the 30th anniversary of the Convention on the Rights of the Child and an opportunity to reflect on the barriers that still prevent the vision of the Convention from being realized. Later this year, the High-Level Political Forum on Sustainable Development in New York will assist to enhance the visibility of violence against children as an urgent issue to address in the context of SDG implementation. And the UN General Assembly Summit in September will allow us at the very highest political level to ensure that violence against children is a priority concern in the next phase of implementing the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. I would like to finish by wishing you every success with your meeting, which I have no doubt will be very rich and fruitful. Thank you very much for your attention.